Hey, good afternoon. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, perfect. It looks like these buttons are a little messed up on my screen, but I see Penny's on, Kirby's on, Tom, Tim, John, Kristen, myself. I don't see Frank. Is Frank on? I know that Eric said he couldn't make it tonight. All right, does anybody have the, I can't even see. I can't see the participant list. Jeff, can you see it?
I can, yes. And Paul will be ready so that if folks are interested in commenting publicly, they'll just raise their hands and then Paul can take care of that.
Okay. Well, let's get started then. It is 6:02. I'm going to call the New Hartford Public Schools Board of Education special meeting dated December 15th to order. If you are able, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, today we have a short agenda today. It's really one main topic we're on for today. I did forward over to all the board members any communications that I had received between the announcement of this meeting, as well as the reminders that the Board of Education had sent out to the school community over the last approximately about a month. The intent this afternoon or this evening is to have the board discuss and vote upon the RFP response and proposal from the Board of Selectmen Chair, the Board of Finance Chair, and myself for Silver Petroselli. The first item on the agenda after pledge is the public comment. So if we have anybody who is willing or would like to address the board, please go ahead and raise your hand so we can promote you. And again, I can't see participants. Oh, maybe this is it. So all right, I do have it up. So
I don't see any raised hands, Tim.
okay. We'll give it a few minutes and see if anybody, or at least a minute, and see if anybody would like to raise their hand. I'm still not seeing any hands raised, so we will close public comment for tonight. And we'll move on to item C on our agenda, which is discuss and take possible action on funding for school utilization RFP proposal from Silver Petroselli and Associates. So I'll kick off the discussion just to remind everyone, we did issue an RFP. That RFP is located on the New Hartford Public Schools website for everybody's viewing, as well as the response from Silver Petroselli is on the website as well. The respondents to the RFP, we did get 3 respondents. We had an interview night where we brought we invited those who responded into interview with myself, with Chairwoman Guilfoyle, as well as Selectman Jerem and Jeff. We did meet with 2 had shown up. One did not make the interview, and they were not selected. So the 3 chairs of our committees chose to put forward the proposal response from Silver Petroselli and Associates as the most responsive and complete bid to follow through with the RFP requirements. The cost associated with that is $48,500. The Board of Finance had a meeting and also I'm sorry, I should step back. The Board of Selectmen had a meeting. They also moved forward the recommendation for Silver Petroselli to the Board of Finance. Board of Finance also approved the recommendation for Silver and Petroselli and Associates with the funding source of being $20,000 from the town side of our town budget. And then the request is $28,500 from the Board of Ed non-lapsing account. Jeff, did I cover everything there? Was there anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, that was a great summation of the timeline of what has occurred in so far. I just want to make it clear to the public what the specific efforts are of this RFP, Tim, and if I miss anything, of course, jump in. Effort number one that it was publicly requested through the RFP process was to retain the current facilities. That's one option. The second one was to reduce the total number of facilities. That's the second option. And based on efforts 1 and 2 and those analyses, it's encouraged of the company to propose any alternative effort of solutions as well. So everything is out on the table regarding this process. It will be lengthy. It will be very in-depth, and excited to do the work, but knowing that there's a long road ahead of us. So I just wanted to make that clear to the public. No determination has been made one way or the other. This is simply exploring current facilities, maintaining that structure in which we have right now, the 3, moving to reduce those facilities. How many? Unknown, because we haven't done the exploration of this yet. And then the final one would be, are there any other alternatives? So just want to make that clear for all, in case people are confused or worried or concerned about one action or another. No action's been taken yet. This is just to get all of the information that we need before we make any decision whatsoever, before we finalize and appoint folks to the task force, and before we start that work. So more information will be coming explicitly from the Board of Education, from the central office, from our social media pages, our website page, and also on our Friday folder. So there'll be a lot more communication going forward as well in terms of the process. Thanks, Tim.
Oh, thank you. So I will open it up to the board. First, we do need to have a motion on the table. So if I could get a motion, is there a specific motion you need, Jeff?
It would be to consider the use and approval of $28,500 from the non-lapsing account to fully fund and complete the and award the proposal to Silver Petroselli and Associates in full. So then we'd have the full 48.5.
Tim, I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Penny. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
It was Tim Russell. So we have a motion by Penny, second by Tim Russell. Open for discussion. Would anybody like to have discussion, ask any questions, comments?
Yeah, Tim, I'm just wondering, what does this bring the non-lapsing account down to if we pay this out?
Approximately 188.5.
Okay, and
188,500.
thank you, Jeff.
Yep.
And what do they say the time frame is on this study? Do they give one, or is it kind of open-ended?
It's going to be more open-ended based on the timing. I mean, we're already into December. If this had started 3 months ago, it would be further down the road. So I'm anticipating anywhere between 6 to 8 months, full study, and then decision times to be made afterward.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I've got a follow-up question to one I asked at an earlier meeting. Jeff, you said that you had interviewed or talked to schools that use this company. When you talked to those schools, were there any surprise cost that the company came up with, or did they stick to their budget?
So overall, the sentiment was that they were very satisfied with the product that they produced. They were most satisfied with the public communication and the amount of times that they offered to meet with the communities throughout. They did not disclose whether there were any difficulties with additional funding or anything like that. One school system did say they wanted them to do a further study on a completely different avenue that was not in their original RFP, so they negotiated to complete that, but there were no other surprise or hidden fees or things of that nature, Frank. Thanks for the question.
Are there any other questions or comments? Discussion points? Again, we've already discussed the proposal response. Everybody on the committee has seen the proposal response. This is really to, as a request of the Board of Finance, to bring it back to the Board of Education for the 28.5 to use the non-lapsing that we hold. And again, the other $20,000 would come from the town side, and under $20,000 does not require a town meeting.
Tim, I have a question.
Sure.
So, just for the record, I wanted to give a background to some people who maybe didn't know what happened 10 years ago. This board voted to close Bakerville, and then the town voted in a referendum, non-binding, at 1275 to 487 to keep it open, and the board reversed its decision. At that time, the enrollment was 460 students. Enrollment now is 444, which is just 16 students less than it was 10 years ago. Last year during the budget, this board considered saving $10,000 by cutting Wake Memorial, wanted to save $5,000 by cutting Tag, and wanted to save $48,000 to cut music. Those are, in my, those are things that we shouldn't even think about cutting. But now we seem to have no problem spending $50,000 on a study to look at something that was resoundingly put to bed 10 years ago. I understand that it's 20 out of us and 20 for the town, but it's all one big pot at the end of the day. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Tom. Any other thoughts, discussion before we put the motion to a vote?
Tim, once we start, assuming we approve this tonight, how soon can Silver Petroselli start on their study of our schools and what they think we should do?
I'm going to defer to Jeff on that, but he's had more discussions directly with Bill Silver from Silver Petroselli.
Yep. So I have a tentative meeting scheduled tomorrow to just start to discuss the timeline of deliverables. So I'll have better understanding of that starting tomorrow, and we'll probably report back out on that in at our January Board of Education meeting.
Tim, was there a similar study done 10 years ago?
No, ma'am. 10 years ago, there was no study done. It was a decision that was made, what I'll say is more behind closed doors without public input, which is the reason that the Board of Finance, the Board of Education, and the Board of Selectmen have decided that we should create this task force to look at the school system. This study would be required whether we were to renovate and get any state funding from the state for any renovations, construction that we might need to do. These studies are required, especially the enrollment study. That was really the only piece of information that I recall back 10 years ago that they used as a basis for the decision they made.
Okay, thank you.
Tim, if I may say, because I was on the board 10 years ago, when this first came up that they were going to close Bakerville School, it was at that first meeting in January when we had all just been, there's a lot of new people on the board, and the current older board members that were there said, we're going to close Bakerville because we don't have enough children and we need the space and we need to save money. And that's when it went to a town vote. But like Kirby asked, there was no input really that gave us, it was the townspeople that said, we're not doing this. And the Board of Ed reversed their decision.
Yeah, I really want everybody to understand it. Yes, it is a lot of money. At least from my perspective, it's a lot of money to spend to be able to get the study. This study is not a study that we're directing Silver and Petroselli to find a way to close a school in our district. The study is meant to maximize the potential that we have in the district by looking at the upcoming construction or upcoming maintenance that will be required in our schools. It's going to look at where our student enrollment projections are. Jeff had reported earlier, I think it was late last week, that we have additional students that just came into our school system. So the study is not a targeted study to be able to figure out how to close a school. The study is to look at how we maximize the potential of what we have today. And quite honestly, in my opinion, after the study's done, the town will have to make some large decisions if we intend to go with whatever direction Silver Petrocelli recommends to us if we decide to use that. Whether it's a renovation, whether it's a closure, there's financial decisions that the town will need to make as a whole, and it won't be done just by the Board of Education.
I will say this, if we're going to keep the 3 schools open, if that's what they suggest that we do, and have to do renovations, we're going to have to think of other ways to save money, because we can't keep taxing our townspeople to the point where they can't afford to buy food or put clothes on their children or whatever. I think all know where I'm going with this. There's a lot of senior citizens in our town that are struggling, and a lot of single families that are struggling. So we have to think about them too.
I agree with Penny. I think we all can pretty much speculate how this study is going to come back, and they're going to say to consolidate the schools into one, most likely. And it's like, if that does save us a considerable amount of money, it would be pretty sad to see within 5 years that we're right back in the same position that we are now, struggling every single budget season to pass things through.
Okay, are we ready to put the motion to vote? All right, on my screen, I see Penny, Kirby, Tom, Tim, Kristen, and Frank. Who's not on my screen?
John.
All right, John, yeah, okay.
I see him on my
Oh,
screen.
now he's back. All right, good. All right, so we are going to put to vote. We have a motion by Penny and a second by Tim Russell to authorize $28,500 from the Board of Ed non-lapsing account to fund the school utilization RFP proposal request and award to Silver Petrocelli and Associates with the combined $20,000 from the state, or I'm sorry, from the town budget side as well, for a total of $48,500. I could see everyone on screen, so I would ask that all those in favor please signify by raising your hand. All those opposed? Any abstentions? All right, that motion passes 7-1-0. All right, can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Adjourn.
Moved by Tim. Second by Frank. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all. I appreciate you all jumping on for the special meeting, and we'll see everyone on Wednesday. Thank you.
Have a good night.
Good night.